What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It is July 7th, and I'm filming this the night before this is posted, which is July 6th, because I'm just so happy to go ahead and make this video, because the Giants finally won their first game in July. I know that sounds really bad, and it is really bad because it took them 6 days and 6 games to finally win their first game in July. And this game, I thought for sure they were not going to win. In the early innings, the first inning, Alex Cobb, almost said Alex Wood, but Alex Cobb had struck out the first batter and the second batter, and then given up a double, and then ended up walking, and then ended up giving up a RBI single, making it a 1-0 game early on. And then the second inning wasn't any better at all. He ended up giving up 2 more runs, making it a 3 more runs, yeah. So it made it a 4-0 game early on, and the Giants already, I feel like, were losing hope right then, and that's what I even put on Twitter. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm Bay Area Sports Fan. That's what my Twitter user is, and it looks the exact profile picture as what my YouTube profile picture is. But anyways, I put on Twitter saying that they literally look like a T-ball team, and as soon as the opposing team goes ahead and gets 1 run, then it's like the Giants just turn into a T-ball team. And it is really true. That's what it was seeming like. And then every time they would hit the ball hard, they would make the opposing team just have a really great play. And that was the case with David VR, the rookie. He ended up smoking a ball that Dalton Varsho ended up making a outstanding catch, taking away extra bases for sure from David VR. And that had to have felt bad for David VR because he has been definitely someone that I've been liking so far. He came into this game 2 for 6, so he's not that bad, and then he had a walk in the game before. But anyways, I'm just super happy, but I mean, at this point, I was not happy. Right then, it was a 4-0 game in just the second inning. Alex Cobb did not look good anymore. And then he ended up making it actually all the way to the 6th inning. He pitched about 96 pitches, I think. So it wasn't that bad. But I mean, the Giants bullpen, it was up to them now to go ahead and help us get this. Joey Bart had ended up, by the way, it was the 5th inning. Joey Bart had ended up coming up. This was his first game back for a while after he was optioned to AAA, but Kurt Casale is on the IL and most likely will be on the IL for another month because he has a oblique injury. So that's not good at all. But Joey Bart came out and his swing definitely looked better. He went 1 for 2. He grounded out in his first at-bat, but ended up in his second at-bat smoking a double. Actually looked like, because there's runners at first and second with no one out, it looked like at first that the Giants actually were going to have it, 1 out. But it looked like they were going to go ahead and have a 3-run homer. He smoked that ball, but then the umpires reviewed it, and it ended up being a fan interference, which sucked, and it made it just a 4-1 game. But I mean, still, good job by Joey Bart. He was a good sport, came out of the dugout, definitely was really mad, but he did come out, and he was still probably happy that he got the RBI. And then he ended up going ahead and getting tagged out on a RBI ground out in the next at-bat by Lamont Wade Jr., making it a 4-2 game, which scored La Stella from third base. So that is really good stuff that ended up happening. 4-2 had started being the momentum starter, but it wasn't quite it. Then they ended up not having the best innings until the 8th inning. Giants pitching still held on to it somehow. There's a lot of big times where the D-backs just were 1 swing away from blowing the Giants out. But no, the Giants pitching ended up holding it pretty steady. And what ended up happening is that in the 8th inning, it was Joey Bart that was supposed to start off, and he got subbed out and had Austin Slater end up coming in, who was a big part of this whole rally and all that. But he ended up starting off this inning it was originally called a bunt out to the third baseman, but then they reviewed it, the Giants challenged it, and it ended up being a single, so it was a bunt by Austin Slater, so that was good. For once, Kapler, when he usually takes out players and hitters, it doesn't work out for the best for the pinch hitter. But this time, Austin Slater ended up going ahead and having this work out very well. He ended up going ahead and getting that single. Darren Ruff came up next at bat. Boom. Blast it. 4-4 Giants in the 8th inning. That was crazy. Jock Peterson ended up striking out, and then there's a couple other things that ended up happening for outs. There was a line out, and then another fly out or something like that. I don't really remember. But then in the 9th inning, the Giants ended up going ahead and adding on to this lead. And there is one out with the bases loaded. And guess who was up? Austin Slater again, who had already was a big part of that 2-run home run, getting on base and hustling with that single in the 8th inning, the inning before. He ended up going ahead and hitting with the bases loaded and one out, which has not gone the Giants' way at all. This was the 9th inning, keep in mind. So if he grounded into double play, the game was over. They were still down 4-2. He ended up, it was tied 4-4. So the game would have been over, but it could have gone to extra innings or the Giants could have lost. He ended up smoking a 2-run double, making it a 6-4 Giants lead. And then there's a sac fly after, making it a 7-4 lead by the Giants going into the 9th inning. Camilo Doval ended up coming in the 9th inning to try and secure the save and give the Giants the win, the much needed win by the Giants. And he ended up not getting the job done. He ended up giving up a walk, then struck out a guy and then made a batter fly out. But then he gave up a walk, so runner at first and second was still only 1 or 2 outs, so he only needed one more out. Then he gave up a single, making it runners at first and third with still 2 outs, and now the D-backs were only behind by 2, 7-5. And then there was another walk, making it, and that walk had 10 pitches involved. So it was a really good at bat, but did not go the Giants' way and Doval's way, and made it a bases loaded, 2 outs to bring in Sam Lawn, and he had his chance for his first ever career save, and he ended up getting the job done. Ended up striking out the last batter on the D-backs with the bases loaded, and ended up securing the save and securing the win for the Giants. So with that being said, the Giants ended up winning 7-5 this game. I'm super happy that they finally won. It only took them 6 days to finally win in July. When I say only, that's obviously sarcastic and all that. But yeah, 7-5 was the final score, and the Giants finally got their win. My player of the game is going to be to someone that came in the 8th inning, Austin Slater. Wasn't in the whole game, but he was a big part of this win. Like I said, he was the run that ended up being scored with Darren Ruff's home run. I could give it to Darren Ruff or Sam Lawn, the player of the game, because they both played big parts in this. And I could really give it to Darren Ruff because he tied up this game. But I'm going to give it because Slater, like I said, was a part of that home run. So that made him also be a part of that tying up the game. And then he ended up having that bases loaded, 1 out double, making it 2 runs. So he went 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. He's going to be my player of the game. Played very good for the times that he was in as far as batting wise, and made it so the Giants fans are a little more comfortable. I mean, definitely not as comfortable. I mean, we got a very hard schedule coming forward and going forward from this part. And to go ahead and finish off that whole series and the 3 series against below 500 teams is not good at all. Or 4 series, actually. So that's just incredible that the Giants actually won this game. But they ended up winning it. They won 4 of their last 16 games. So hopefully they can turn this around and go ahead and start getting back to their winning ways. Last but not least, I heard something this morning, so this is the day that this is being posted, is Gabe Kapler was saying Alex Cobb the night before the game and then the day that he was pitching, he was throwing up and was very sick and still was able to pitch 6 innings and had 3 strikeouts. So good for him. He didn't pitch the best, but I mean, good for him for being able to go out there, pitch 6 innings, and be throwing up that day. Because I know that if I was to throw up like once or twice, I would definitely not throw 96 pitches. That I just could not be able to do that. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. Go Giants, and I will see you guys tomorrow.